What up, guys? Welcome to the New American Dream Podcast. I'm your host, George Gibson. All right, I had to start off the new year with something great, right? So today, 2022, I want you guys to start doing this. This is what I'm doing. I'm dealing with professional business, professional people. So, all right, what I mean when I say that is like, for instance, when you go you need your yard cut. Do you just get a random person to cut your yard, or do you get a person who does cutting yard professional? When you get your teeth cleaned, do you go to somebody who just good at clean teeth, or do you go to a real dentist? Yes, you go to a real dentist. So why don't we do that in all aspects of our life? So for example, I have this podcast. I've been editing this podcast going on 3 years now, and it's about time that I hired a professional podcast editor. It just makes sense. If you want to be, having a great business or great service, you need to deal with great people and the best service. Like I got t-shirts made. And I was just thinking, you know what? And I got a recommendation from a t-shirt company that make t-shirts. And guess what? They're so professional. My t-shirts come out great. I got them hanging on the wall. I would show you, but yes, I will. I'm gonna show you the shirts. But yes, they like it. Just so in life in business is so much easier when you're dealing with other professional people. And also, second, I know you had a basketball coach, you had a PE coach, you had a piano coach. You always had coaches, but no one ever hires a self-improvement or business coach. And that's crazy, right? I never thought about it. We watch YouTube, but I just want to say this. Self-improvement and learning is like a top tier thing. And you get coaches and teachers for everything else. Why not get a coach to help you self improvement? If you have a business, they have business coaches. So instead of spending all this money and doing the wrong things, you hire a business coach and it works out a lot easier, a lot faster, and you make a lot more money just like this. And you skip a lot of steps. So today's episode, we talked about marketing, business, hiring a business coach, and our guest today, he does an awesome job about growing businesses and how to grow effective and not just waste a lot of funds and capital. So let's get into today's episode. Today's special guest, we have Brandon Boyd. All right, welcome to the show. We have Brandon Boyd.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So, all right, man. For the people who don't know, give us like a 30-second backstory of who you are and what you do.
It kind of depends on how far you want to go back, but we're gonna
like present. Yeah. Right now, what you do?
We keep it current. So basically, man, I'm a productivity and marketing coach. I pretty much help coaches and consultants sell more, get more clients through high value content marketing, and then I show them how they can remove themselves from that process through systems and strategies.
Okay. All right. So, like you said, going back. All right. How was you raised up? Like your childhood, how was it growing up? Were you poor kid, middle class? What was it like?
I would say, I mean, I don't, when you're a kid, you don't really know the difference, but I would say I was probably like middle class. My grandmother raised me though. She's my guardian. My mom has substance abuse issues. My dad was absent from my life. And by the time I turned 16, my dad, my mom, and my grandmother had all. So I grew up on the second unit. My great grandmother and my uncle lived on the first unit. My aunt and my cousin lived on the third unit. So even though my mom and my grandmother passed away, who basically I lived with, my mom was in the house. Like I said, my dad wasn't present. But when they all left my life, I still have family around, because I have family upstairs and some family downstairs. But at that time, I had like one more year of high school. I was, going into my 17th year. And then I went to college. So, it hit me, obviously, what I'm saying? But like, I was still kind of like on a path, like finishing high school and then going to college for my first year. So like, it didn't take me off my course. It actually made me a little bit more intentional about wanting to go to college because I actually didn't want to go to college. My grandmother wanted me to go. So then when she passed away, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna pay attention. And I actually got I got really good grades in college compared to like me just kind of skating by in high school. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much like a summary of my upbringing.
So like, evidently, you're into business, entrepreneur lifestyle now. Where did you get that from growing up? Was your grandmother, teaching you that, or your family members close by?
No, I think that was kind of innate, man. Like I can't really like pigeon out on anything that I learned directly from. My grandmother was a hustler. She had a very stable situation. She worked for the clerk magistrate office. You know what I'm saying? So basically, she handled like civil, civil situations in the city. You know what I'm saying? So if you had to go to court and it wasn't like a like a petty thing, like, oh, I owe this dude money, or a car accident situation, or she would handle all the civil disputes. But then when she got off, her side hustle or her other hustle was a bills bondsman. So I used to ride with her, you know what I'm saying, to go to the court. I mean, not the courthouse, the police station, you know what I'm saying, to help bail people out. So she would make extra bread that way. So she provided a very stable place for me to I grew up, I lived on the street with a bunch of friends, you know what I'm saying? So we used to all do stuff together, play basketball, run around, chill, things like that. We had a nice crib growing up, had a big yard, so I can always run around playing in the yard. And anything that I wanted to do, I could do, like, basketball, baseball. If I wanted to try something, she was always there to support me and allow me to try that, right? I never really felt that we didn't have in terms of money, but obviously we weren't like, it wasn't an elaborate situation, you know what I'm saying? But I never heard her tell me, I never heard her tell me you can't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like I never heard that. So she provided, a stable situation. She basically raised, I mean, I was a grandson, but she raised me like I was like I was her son, you know what I'm saying? And then as far as the entrepreneurship situation, I feel like it came when I was in college, because my first actual entrepreneurship experience was throwing basketball leagues in the city. And what I did was innately, I just recognized the city of Boston did not have um, a basketball league that you could participate in publicly if you were over the age of 19. It kind of like stopped at 19. They had like 14 under, 17 under, 19 under, you know what I'm saying? But after that, it was like there was no other league. Right. That was like in Boston. It was some like further out in the suburban areas. So I basically was inspired by like Rucker, New York. And I was like, yo, I want to kind of bring something to the city with a vibe. So I created a tournament one weekend, and I had 4 teams, and it like packed out, sold out. People came and watched it. And then I was like, okay, this is something. This might be something. So then directly after that, I started doing summer leagues. So I had about 10 to 12 teams, summer leagues, about 10 to 12 sponsors. I had a live DJ there, had a microphone, giveaways, jerseys, everything, So I did that for probably about 6 years. That was my first taste of entrepreneurship.
Okay, all right, let's pause right now, because that's like, all right, you started out with, you seen an issue, a problem, and you like, how can I solve that? And I think that's like a lot of people right now start businesses based on your success, my success, their success, instead of looking for a problem and just solving it.
100%.
That's that. I like that, because I coach recreation basketball, but exactly like you said, here after you get out of high school, wait, it might be a men's league now, but it's not as talked about as the kids league.
Yeah, like I wanted to do something that was a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like if you was a hooper, you would come hoop.
Right.
But if you just enjoyed basketball, or if you just wanted something to do in the summertime, you would pull up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew a lot, but I didn't know a lot at the same time. But I knew about cultivating the experience that people wanted to be a part of. So like girls would pull up, dudes that just liked, basketball, or were friends of people that were playing, they would pull up, they would bring the cars, you know what I'm saying? They may bring some food or a little drink situation. I had the DJ out, you know what I'm saying? So it was a vibe, you know what I mean? And back then, like Twitter was popping. So like I used to tweet out the scores, you know what I'm saying? And like they used to like that, like, oh, such and such scored 25 points, or they beat this team by 10 points. Like that was like the whole thing. So like there wasn't a lot of leagues doing that. You could come and get your game and you would win. But when the game was over, there was no like little post like wrap up or no post media or no or nothing that you can go to be like, oh yeah, I had about 10 rebounds or I did this. So I wanted to provide that type of experience.
Oh man, it's a book. I see it behind me. It's called. Oh, here you go. The Fish. So
Okay.
I know you probably this is an old book, man. I found it in an old library. But this book is about it was a corporate place and they were all the employees were like dried out. They were just coming to work, just going through the motions. And at this fish shop, you know, that where the manager used to go to lunch at, the crowd used to be around there throwing fish up in the air. They had the music playing. They had the kids try this fish. You know what I mean? Oh, try this. Oh, you try to cook it. So it was like you just said, it was a whole what you call it?
Experience.
It was experience, yes.
Yeah.
That's what like people don't even think about as far as business. Everybody like, you know, you focus on the business, but when you make an experience for the person like you just did, it's a lot more memorable. You know what I mean? A lot more fun to be a part of.
100%, 100%. And I mean that's still true today. You know what I'm saying? For whatever people are doing, if you cultivate community and you cultivate an experience with whatever you have going on, you're gonna start seeing different type of success than you would if you didn't do that.
Yeah, so definitely, I think for people who got a business and you come in, it's quiet and it's just, you know, do this, point A, point B. Start looking at ways to make it more, you know, of an experience instead of just you know, look at a piece of paper, do this, do that. You know, as I think because even my business, I like after I read that book, I started like, you know, playing music at the site if we're doing a rehab, just making it more lively. You know what I mean? Rather than just go there and do what you're doing. All right. So, all right. After you do this basketball league, what's next? Did you get a full-time job after college?
Nah, bro. I think I had a full-time job in college. You know what I'm saying? I worked at the Sprint store for like 4 years. Actually, when I launched the basketball league, I was slinging phones and having people come to the store to register their team. You know what I'm saying? So people come to the store to register their team for the summer league. I was doing both of them out of there.
Out of the store.
But right after the basketball league, this is like around 2006. My brother and then one of my best friends from high school, they introduced me to my first business partner. And then he had an idea to create a clothing company. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of already had it rolling, but it was under his name. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So when we came together, the idea was like, yo, I'm doing this clothing company. Do you want to be down? And for me, you know, again, to your point, did I work for somebody or, you know, I didn't want to do that. So this posed a real interesting opportunity for me. And I kind of liked the direction it was going. So I actually stopped doing the basketball leagues, which were actually rolling. Right. And I went 100% into this clothing company situation. And we did that for about 10 years. And the name of that brand was Society Original Products.
Okay. Okay. So when he brought you into this clothing business, what was your skill set that you brought to the business that this person feel like, hey, I want Brandon on my team?
I think in the beginning, it was just like, you know, like I'm an executor, you know what I'm saying? Like even back then, I feel like I was still cultivating who I was and like what my brilliance and genius was, but I still would execute. So I think for me at the time, it was like executing, marketing, and I was willing to do whatever else. And as we were doing the brand, that whatever else turned into not only marketing, but actually selling the clothes, the running the business aspect, seeding the clothes to influencers, actors, artists, movies. We were in video games. Some of the top rappers in the game right now. We used to connect with them when they were younger, before they got into the game. So doing all of that, getting the brand into stores internationally, business partnerships. We even started to do a little bit of licensing towards the end. Right. But like I did all of that, you know what I'm saying? He focused on the creative direction of the brand and actually the overall design of everything that we produced. But I literally did everything else.
Wow. So, all right. So you got, it's 2022. This is the first day of 2022. And I believe 2021, we had the most, as far as African American Black people start LLCs, start their own businesses. A lot of my friends, man, are starting to take the chance or seeing the seeing the reward, being an independent boss, like rappers would say, right?
Yeah.
So what, like, are they starting out this business in 2022? What do a first time business owner, what do they focus on? Like, you started multiple business, but for a person first starting out their business, what is their main focus?
I think the first thing that you should do after you identify, a problem in the market, I think that's the first thing. You should not create a business based on what you want. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't base like, I like sunglasses, so I'm gonna make a sunglass business. It's like, yeah, that's the easiest thing you can do, but that's not necessarily what the market dictates. What about sunglasses? What about the sunglass market is missing that you could solve with your sunglasses that will give you a competitive edge? So that's the first thing I'll do. I would look around, either survey a market that you want to be in, like an interest that you have, and then figure out how you can make that product or service better in that market so then you have a competitive edge. And the second thing that I would recommend right away is get a mentor or a coach. Because if I had a mentor and a coach when I did my clothing company, I mean, we got it up to 7 figures just off a hustle. You know what I'm saying? Wow. If I had a mentor or a coach, it would have been a multi-million-dollar clothing company. You know what I'm saying? We and like so many things happen, but we literally just did it off a hustle and like figuring the shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you're starting right now and you have an idea, it's a great idea, and you have a little bit of disposable income, I would invest that in a coach. And if you don't have the disposable income, I would just do YouTube University, because you get a lot of free mentorship. Because the thing about this, high-level coaches and high-level mentors, they give away the gyms for free anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you can pick up a hell of a lot of nuggets by signing up to their free shit, following them on YouTube, tapping into their podcast, grabbing their low-ticket offers. If something's like $47, $97, even $197, all their low stuff, I would get into that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't afford, if the coach is $5K, $10K, $25 a month, whatever it is, it's worth it to pay it. But if you can't afford it, just gobble up all their free material.
Yeah, because like and the thing about it nowadays, so many people are, professional geniuses selling these courses. Yeah. So I would just say, if you like me, I try to find people who I have somewhat a relationship with to make them a coach, rather than just reaching out to a random person who's selling all these courses and you just a number. Because it's a totally difference when, like, for real estate, I discovered a real estate coach on freaking Instagram. Guy, he was like 70 years old. I don't know if you remember old school real estate. Guy. This guy was a phone call away. And, he was like my real estate coach. No payment, no nothing. We just genuinely became, I brought him on the podcast. Yeah. And we became friendship. And he would, I get on an issue, a jam. I call him up and it's like, okay, George, this is your options, So I would say, just try to also, try to find somebody who, you got a connection with, instead of just paying for, different courses.
Yeah, I think you need both. You need both. And I think it's not necessarily the courses, because if you can pay for some one-on-one time or some group time and that person's actually involved,
right,
you can skip a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're paying for the transformation and the access. Because if I could pay you $2,000, you're gonna help me skip mad obstacles and pitfalls and help me make money faster than if I didn't pay you at all and I figured out all this on my own and it took me a year. Bro, I would have been further on in a year and made more money if I would have just paid you the 2 stacks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not saying people should run out and just spend money on a coach. Find the one that best aligns with you. But that's why I said, like, gobble up all their free stuff. Like the coach I have right now, I pay him $15,000.
Wow.
But it took me about, I would say, 4 or 5 months before I made that decision. But within that 4 or 5 months, he got hella YouTube content. he gives hella free trainings. You know what I'm saying? He drops hella content on Instagram for free. You know what I'm saying? So he gives away a lot of value. So I've actually taken this value and implemented it. And I'm like, yo, this joint works. Why would I not want to invest in him to get more? Like the pay stuff has to be crazy if the free stuff is already crazy. So that's how I would look at it.
Okay. No, that is smart. Because if you get like Gary V, he always say that, you know, he give out the best information. And most recently, I went to Jay Morrison. You know, Jay Morrison, he spoke in Miami at a real estate convention. And he was like, give your best stuff first. And it's like, what? You know,
I said that in a post. I said something like, yo, give away your competitors' best stuff.
Yeah, that's
so a real coach and a real you know, guru, expert, whatever, they're not worried about giving away stuff because they're constantly leveling up. Like me, I give away math stuff, but I read every single day. I do education every day. So if I give you something away today, it don't matter because I'm leveling up every single day. And then most people don't do the stuff that you're giving away for free anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really even matter. It's a limitation if you don't give it away because it's like a scarcity mindset. If you like, I want to hold on to and keep everything. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna block your blessings of abundance, you know what I'm saying? And reciprocity by putting out that type of energy.
Yeah, and I think, you know, in our community, I think we do that. We try to, like, you know, if we got a business idea, hey, you try to keep it because you don't want nobody else, because we all start the same businesses because of social media. If you got a good business, everybody hear about it, they gonna start it. So it become like oversaturated market. But I think I made a YouTube video on this yesterday for New Year's, but I think everybody, if they give away knowledge in their natural skill set. So everybody is pretty much has a something they naturally do better than most people they know. And that's the stuff that you give to the world because you naturally was born and it comes to you like this. Like real estate, financial, math. I always been really good at math in high school. I was raised around, like, my dad had business, you know. So these things are nothing I have to go, you know, read. I read about it, but I don't necessarily have to indulge in it because it's naturally come to me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I try to give to the world, you know, my knowledge. And, you know, I think it would be like God would be like probably spanking me or hit me when I came to see him if I just kind of like, you know, used it for myself and like, you know, just
held on to it.
Yeah, definitely. And I was at that one point like, you know, I know this, I ain't gonna tell nobody. But now it's kind of like, you know, the world is like, it needs you. It needs you. Yeah. It needs you. Especially the school system. The school system need pretty much everything. Yes, the school system is so far behind, I feel like, that, like, you know, they don't teach credit. They don't teach financial. So I'm looking at, you know, where I live at in Florida, I'm thinking about, you know, going to the school district and trying to make a curriculum for, like, you know, I don't really want to be a school teacher, but if I could teach, like, you know, budget and credit, financial freedom, stuff like that, you know, I would be, you know, think about it.
But no, you should definitely do that because there's some schools that will pick up on that curriculum, you know what I'm saying? And if for some reason they don't, you can still create it and you can still sell it to the parents after the fact as like something supplemental to the education. Like, yo, here's a program at home that you can do with your kids.
And the parents can do it, man. I teach, you know, it's things my parents didn't learn growing up. Like, you know, they weren't teaching about credit and all this stuff. So it's like the most needed information, you know, for the majority of the world. All right. So how are you balancing, like, you know, as far as working and personal? How are you splitting the two, like, right now?
So I don't really believe in balance, bro, to be honest with you. I've studied a lot of like high performance thinkers, you know, high performance people that produce, and a lot of them say the same thing. You know, it's not a balance. It's like, you know, like Kobe wasn't great because he balanced his life with basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like it was an imbalanced situation that worked for him. So I think if you want to be great, you can't have the theoretical balance that a normal or regular person would perceive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you an example. Holiday comes around, everybody hits me up, says happy holidays or whatever. And I'm like, Christmas, birthday, Thanksgiving, whatever the case may be, Memorial Day, and they're like, yo, what's up? How you celebrate? What you doing? My first my first response generally is, yo, I'm working. And they're like, yo, like, why are you working, bro? Relax, yo, take a break, man. Like, it's a long weekend, or just chill. They're projecting their energy onto me. That's what you want to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm very happy investing in myself and deciding to delay my gratification and get me to where I want to go. Plus the things that I do and make me happy. You know what I'm saying? So what I would say is, for me, I just realized at certain moments when I may need to take a break or take a nap or take a walk or take the day off, you know what I'm saying? Or hang out with a friend, family member, maybe go on a drive, go on a hike. Like, I realize, because I pay attention to me, what I may need to do for me. But I don't believe, like, I need to be 40% here, 40% here, 20% here. Like, I work pretty much every day, you know what I'm saying? Just like I gym pretty much every day. And for me now, it's like delegating, systemizing, automating. So now then I can start taking myself away from the business and then put myself in different areas so I can really experience the life that I want to experience. Like, I'm designing the life that I want so then I can experience it in real time.
Right. So, all right. I agree with you, because me and my wife, we always get on this because, I come from working a job I hate to now I do what I love to do. Yeah. So, like, I'm a realtor. I got my own other business. So I come home, she like, let's go do this, go walk with our son around the block, whatever. And it's like, dang, I haven't even did my realtor business, my realtor stuff today. I'm a realtor too. So I got housing contract. And I'm like, man, I don't have both times. I don't have enough time in the day. And it's like, it's I don't say I burn out, but you do have to work really hard. But the thing about, like, me and you is, all right, because you like, all right, when I get to this point, I ease up, right? When I get to this point, I ease up. Well, all right, when I didn't have a job, I had no rental properties, Then I ended up buying one rental property. Then I bought two. Then I'm like, I need 4. Then I got 4. Now I need 8. Now I need 12. So as I'm meeting my success, I'm steady backing up the goalposts. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yep.
So that space between where I'm at now and the goalpost is the only thing I'm always focused on. Like, we're not here yet. We're not here yet. And she like, we just said we get it. You know what I mean? And it's like, so I'm thinking, like, I get what you're saying. Like, you got to work hard, but at the same time, I think you got to reflect back on where you come from and where you at today. Because, I mean, I ain't saying I take the foot off the gas, but my biggest thing right now is, we are the richest generation on the planet right now. Like, far as money, far as traveling, we do the most. But our aunts and uncles and grandparents had more time than we got. And I think at the end of the day, time is more valuable than money.
Yeah, time's 100% more valuable than money. That's why, like, I believe, you need to invest your time. That's going to give you the highest ROI in your life, not necessarily, in an intrinsic value or money. Because I believe time is the most valuable commodity. So if you enjoy working, or if you enjoy relaxing, or if you enjoy spending time with your family, definitely prioritize that. But understand that if you're going to be an entrepreneur, or even if you're just somebody that has a job and you're doing other things on the side and you want to achieve a lot of things, or you got high goals, there's not going to be a traditional sense of balance. You have to create and design what would be deemed balance in your life.
Right. I like that. All right. So, all right, if God came down to you and he whispered, "Hey, Brandon, this is what I want you to do." What you think he wants you to do while you're here? What's your purpose?
That's a good question, bro. No one's ever asked me that. If God came down,
he whispered in your ear. He didn't tell your mom. He didn't tell nobody. He told you only, like, "Hey, this is what I want you to do. It's between me and you, but this is what I want you to do while you got your body on physical land until you come up here."
I think he would tell me to make sure that I'm intentionally impacting people, you know what I'm saying? And really, like, pour my cup up in terms of like my whole capacity. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's another gear or two that I haven't really engaged yet. So I feel like he would encourage me to like, you know, max out my performance, you know what I'm saying, every time I have a full cup, you know what I'm saying? And give as much as I can to other people to help inspire and motivate them. I feel like that's what he would tell me to do.
Okay, and like just like naturally, what like your friends, what do they normally call you for, or your people, what like, and they call, hey, and they got a problem. What's the problem they normally call you?
Yo, I mean, it's either I mean, now it's more like business advice, marketing advice, but generally most of my friends would call me, you know, because they want to talk to me about what's going on in their life. You know what I'm saying? I've always been like a cute listener. You know, I think it's been recently that I realized that okay, you know, the coaching thing is kind of where I'm at with it. But prior to that, for the majority of my life, I've just been a good listener. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not somebody that if you tell me something, I'm gonna tell somebody else. I don't really pass judgments. You know what I'm saying? I'm really kind of like in an even keel. So if you tell me something, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm gonna give you the other side of it, and then you know leave it to you to decide what makes sense for you. So that's always been who I've been, and then I just kind of elevated it to where I'm at now.
Okay. So far as people with a service or they selling something, what do you say recommend for the increase in sales? Because like sales is the number one thing in any business, and you know that's the most important part. What do you tell a business owner to focus on as far as in
So I
sales?
think people need to understand that like your job is not over just because you create the thing. You know, if you create that product or you create that service, your job's not over. That's the easy part. And people shouldn't be afraid of marketing or sales. Like when you meet somebody and y'all
Mhm.
exchange numbers, like that's marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's relationships at that point. It could break down to the basic like that. So what I would tell somebody is you need to understand who is the person that you're selling to. You know, like so if you make some toothpaste, who is the ideal consumer of that toothpaste? You know, is it a him? Is it a her? You know what I'm saying? Is it this age? You know, is it a metropolitan person? Is it a suburban person? You know, do they make this type of income? Do they listen to this type of music? Are they online? You know what I'm saying? Are they in the metaverse? Like, do they invest? Figure out as much information as you can about who your ideal person is. Then you need to create messaging that's going to convert that individual. You also have to realize that you're basically talking to three segments of the same person. You're talking to somebody that is cold, they do not know you, they never met you at all. You're
Right.
talking to somebody that's warm, they follow you, they may or may not have purchased, but they know who you are. And maybe it's been a referral situation, or they subscribe to you, or they follow you. And then someone that's hot, which means it doesn't matter who you are per se, but they know that they need what you have, and you just have to get in front of them so they can convert. Because at any moment when you have a product every single day, there's like 3% of people that will buy it right now. But you just have to get in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, like I'm on a podcast because I want to be on podcasts.
Right.
I have a podcast, but I want to be on podcast. So you ain't really have to convince me. You just had to get in front of me. You know what I mean? Like we wasn't on a long conversation like, yo, Brendan, this is a podcast. I got about X amount of episodes. This is a vibe. We're on these platforms. Like, nah. And you know, I was a hot client for you because I want to be on podcasts. You have a podcast, it makes sense. Let's vibe out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm that hot client in that aspect. So people need to understand messaging, and you also have to not just rely on referrals
Right.
and word of mouth, because that's what everyone defaults to that. You know what I'm saying? So I would say learn how to start creating community and building your list.
So do you recommend paying for like what is called ads right now? Do you recommend it's starting out? Like say somebody
Nah, nah,
start
nah. If you're just starting out, you ain't ready for ads because you don't even know how to build. You don't even know how to build your client.
right.
So you're gonna waste money because you don't like the messaging's going all over the place. So if you don't know who your ideal client is or who your consumer is, you haven't even made a decent amount of sales. You ain't ready for ads
Wow.
because your concept's not tested. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not consistent enough. You don't have a long enough sample size to say, okay, this is the data. This is what's going on. You should probably have a goal for yourself. Like, hey, I want to make that first $10,000 or whatever case may be, and then I'm gonna try ads after or whatever. Or like figure out what your goal is gonna be. Get to that goal organically, and then possibly test ads, because ads is a whole nother animal. You can't just run an ad and get sales. Like you have to learn that too. There's different levels to how ads work. So that's what I would say. Hustle to 100,000. You know what I'm saying? If you can make 100,000 organically, you're ready for ads. Like I would like, put a goal out there, meet that goal organically, and then you want more people to see what you got. You just hustle to 100K. So that means if more people knows about you, then that means you're gonna sell more.
Wow. Okay. So all right, so far on your your business career and your journey, what's like a lesson you learned, or I don't, because I would say a failure you overcame, but what's a lesson you learned you like, I took that on the chin?
So I think lessons I learned, I mean probably a couple, man. The first thing I would say is, have some type of agreement with the people that you work with. So if you're gonna work if you're working with another business owner, another entrepreneur, or if you got a partner, whatever case may be, y'all should have an agreement. Y'all should understand, almost like like insurance. If something happens to the business, if something happens to the partner, something happens to the other partner, did you invest money and the other person brought the intellectual property? Did the other person's cousin or aunt invest the money? Like what are the different parts that allow you guys to do what you do and get all that out and get an agreement that, okay, I invested this money, so after we gross this money, I'm gonna put the money back, then we're gonna be even. Like figure out what's gonna work for y'all so y'all can thrive. So then things will come up in the future. And then when they do come up, you can revert back to that agreement, and then emotions are out of it. Even if emotions are in it, the paper dictates how y'all gonna move. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of relationships in business that go awry, and y'all don't have a partnership agreement, or y'all don't have no type of other agreement, and then people get, they get in their feelings, and then they get crazy. So that's the first thing I would say. The second thing I would say is sell it before you have it.
Oh,
no. So that's the biggest thing. I do that with all of my products and services, and I recommend brand new entrepreneurs to do it. Sell your thing before you even create it. And if you can do that, then you know that you should make it. You know what I'm saying? You should not spend a month, 2 months, 3 months making the thing and then looking for clients. Sell the thing before you even produce it. You know what I'm saying? And then that will tell you if the market wants it. And then you can then go back and make it. Plus, you'll have the money because you pre-sold it to invest that money into producing it. So that's probably number 2. And then the third thing I would say was build a community. Because if you can build a community of clientele, whether it's an email list, a Slack group, Discord, Facebook group, you know what I'm saying, followers, subscribers. If you can build a community that's engaging, you can always sell.
And that was 3 hardcore gems. You might have to take that out and just yeah, because the second one I lost talk when you kept talking, but the second one,
partnership agreement, sell it before you have it.
Yeah, to sell it before you have it. That is an awesome one, because people don't want to risk their money. So like you said, if you start the business, you can put an ad on Craigslist or anything, and just to see if you get calls. I'm like, oh, okay, we don't have nothing available yet. You know what I mean? I'm back tracker just to see if it's even sellable. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna tell you,
bro, when you have a community, like I just launched a product last week. The product ain't even out yet. I made 10,000 from one email.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Jeez. So that's the power of a community. The power of a community, and then an offer. You know what I'm saying? Like I pre-sold that. That's not even out yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm letting people know. And then the 10K is a light number, because I'm telling you, people are doing numbers, bro. 50K on a launch, 100K on a launch. You know what I'm saying? Or 50K in a month, 100K in a month. So it's very possible to do these type of numbers, obviously with leveraging and learning different things, but I would 100% encourage, support, and recommend people pre-sell their product or their service.
So, and when you saying, you know, like these launches stuff, that means that business service must be on social media heavy, right?
Yeah. So again, like one of the things I coach right now, like I help coaches and consultants sell more and get more clients through high value content. You know what I'm saying? So high value content is basically, you know, producing content consistently that is valuable, educational, and informational. You know what I'm saying? And then what you want to do is you want to spread that across the different channels that you may have. So, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, if you got an email list, if you got a text message list, if you got a Slack group, if you're in a Facebook group, start diversifying your content. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like compound interest. Think of it just like the stock market or, whatever the case may be, crypto, NFT. After a while, you putting in that consistent work, those pieces of content is going to compound. And next thing you know, you got 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 pieces of content out. And then people are like, bro, I keep seeing you, man. Like, and they're going to want to tap in. Like, look, my coach got me to spend 15K, not because I was on the phone with him, because he put a high content value out there consistently. So I kept running into him. Plus, after a while, we start systemizing it. So then you layer on ads, then you layer on email sequences, then you layer on retargeting. You know what I'm saying? There's so many other things that you can do on top of the organic. But once you put organic with the ads and with it go crazy.
That sounds like it go crazy, man.
It
sounds like I need to get off and go to work. But because you know what? That's what I'm saying though. It's so much now with social media and like the opportunity out there. An entrepreneur literally could just go. You know what I mean? Because I could imagine if I had, the thinking I did right now at like 21, 22, and I had no child, single, and it'll be like, oh my gosh, it'll be different because you could just.
I had a 16-year-old on a call yesterday, bro. She's hella intelligent,
right?
She's joining one of my programs, probably the youngest one in one of my programs, easily. She's talking about stuff that I didn't even have to tell her about.
Gee, that's 16.
She's talking about, I need to get a membership and she was like, I need to get a subscription-based program. I need to build my community. I want to do my YouTube channel. I need a podcast. And, my mom is interested in real estate investing. So I figured if I cultivate my interest in interior design, that we can team up and do it together. Bro, she's 16.
That's scary, man.
And she's on the phone with me and her mom to prove it, but she's like, yo, I want to coach, or I want to be in an entrepreneurship group or membership or mentor group. So she has that mindset. So just to piggyback on what you're saying, entrepreneurs now, young people, the opportunity and the information is out here. And even if you're older, bro, like I'm 40, I'm 41. Right. So even if you're older, you can still get it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to feel like, oh, I got this job, I'm afraid to leave, blah, 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 blah. Keep your job, do your side hustle. When your side hustle income matches your job or whatever you wanted to do, then transition if that's what you want. But you can definitely 100% go after your dreams and make it happen for sure.
Yeah. So, all right, far as what is something you do every day to make sure you stay on track to be successful? Like something.
So I got so I call it routines and rituals. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like my morning routine is the stuff I do for me, and then my rituals are the things I do for my business. So I make sure that I hit my routines and my rituals every single day, and then I'm good. And then another thing that works really well for me is time blocking. Moving in and out of different things based on blocks of time. So just imagine if you were still in school or in college, that's how your day navigates. Right. You're like, I got English at this time. I got calculus at this time. I got photography at this time. You know what I'm saying? I got statistics at this time. So if people you know, and I think one of the things that doesn't work for people is once they get out of that school, then they kind of like don't structure their lives. But if you structure your life like back when you were at school, you will actually produce more and be more productive in a day because you're like, there's these 5 things I need to do. I'm gonna do an hour here, hour here, hour here, hour here, hour here. It's not even 12 o'clock yet. You might be done with all of that. And you're like, damn, I got all this time. When, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it works. Because you don't really need 2-3 hours to do something. You may only need 40 minutes of like concentrated time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you can knock it out, knock out that thing, knock out that thing, knock out that thing. Then there's your balance potentially. Then you can spend time with your girl, your daughter, your son, your mom, take a walk, take a hike. And then you still got time. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how your life may move. So I think time blocking, that's huge for me. I would recommend people, if you're not already doing that, to you know, play around with that and see if that works for you.
No, that's definitely because when I first quit my 9 to 5, I used to just, you know, wake up and be like, oh, what I gotta do today? And just literally try to think of everything I gotta do and do it like that. And then an older guy, you know, from the church, he was like, you know, you write down, you know, say Sunday night, you write down the 10 things I need to do. And as you do it, you check it off. You know what I mean? So now I'm like, and sometimes, most of the time, if you're just thinking about what you need to do, the one thing that I didn't do that day, that's the only thing I would think about. Like, I forgot I couldn't get this done. But
Yeah.
you accomplished these 7 other things, you know? So
yeah, I actually got a wealth journal that's about to drop in a couple of months, and I designed it like that. You know what I'm saying? I designed it to help you think abundantly and produce in your imagination, you know what I'm saying, the abundance that you seek, but then also it has a structure there to help you navigate the day, the week, the month, the year.
dang, you own it, man. All right. What I was gonna say? Okay, this is one thing before we go to the final question. Like far as your marketing, hold on one second. All right, all right. For a person who own that business and they got maybe 2 or 3 employees, what's the most valuable time spent for the person that's the leader? What's the
Well,
most?
I think if you're the leader, I think it's 2 things. One would be leveling up, like constantly like improving yourself. You know what I'm saying? Constantly leveling up, improving yourself, and then having meetings with your employees, maybe weekly, with the task list, and then trusting them to knock off the things. Because that's like, you know, that's one of the things that I struggle with. You know, not trusting and delegating more tasks. Feeling like if I ain't do it, it don't come out the way that I need it to be done. So if you can have successful meetings and you can, you know, bestow upon them exactly how you want it to be done, but give them the leeway to kind of do it in their style, obviously, I think that will help your business. And then obviously the number one thing is continue to level up.
Oh, what right now? What does your team look like? Do you have like a lot of people helping you, or just a few people?
So I have one employee and I got some virtual assistants.
Okay, all right. If you had a loudspeaker and you could use it to talk to the entire world to say one thing, what would you say?
I would tell people that they need to learn more about their bodies and eat more healthy.
What? And that's gonna trigger the rest to go. All right, this like the final 5 questions, you know, for the New American Dream podcast. First thing come to your mind.
All right, let's get it.
All right, if you could spend a day with a mentor and just like hang out, pick their brain, who would it be?
Myron Golden.
Myron Golden. That's the first. Who is Myron Golden?
Myron Golden. He's in Tampa. He's a coach, businessman, marketer, high level marketer. But he helps his clients have $100,000 days, $1 million days. He's also a disciple of Russell Brunson, so he's like a high level marketer.
Okay, I'm 3 hours from Tampa. Might have to find this guy. Okay.
Yeah, he has an amazing book too. Well, he has a couple of books, but one of his famous books is From the Trash Man to the Cash Man. So I would get that book.
Oh, I never heard of it. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna put this stuff in the show notes so people can look them up and find the book. All right. Something that makes you nervous if you got to do this.
Something that makes me nervous. Man, that's a good question. I don't know if I got an answer.
I'll help you out. Most people say public. It's like I threw this one in here, but most people say public speaking, but I don't know.
I don't know. I don't really feel like I get nervous, bro. Now that I think about it, maybe like rats. Like like maybe if I like outside LA and there's like a rat that scurries, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe like seeing rats real quick. But I mean, like I walked past rats a bunch of times, like in New York. You know what I'm saying?
So if you had to speak on Monday to a crowd, 100,000 people about marketing, you wouldn't be nervous?
Nah, I'd be good, man. It would definitely be my first time doing it with that size crowd, but I know my shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'll be good. I'll be good. Yeah.
That's what I tell people. Like, I don't really even need talking on a podcast and stuff. And people be like, I'm not really a talker, to be honest with you. But if we talking about, like what we talking about, I can talk. But as soon as we start, you switch it up and go left on me, I'm like, man, I'll be quiet. You know what I mean? I'll just be chilling,
Yeah.
But as far as, I feel like God put it on my, my heart for like finance, real estate. People call me about real estate like every freaking day. So it's like, I can talk about that,
Yeah, 100%.
All right. If you had to refer one book to a friend to be successful, guarantee they'd be successful, what book would you refer?
So I got actually it's over there. So I would refer my book, Secrets to Success Playbook, but I would also refer the 10 Pillars of Wealth, Alex Becker. It's a great book.
Okay. What is your book again? Let me see it. Secrets to Success Playbook.
Yeah, the eight Secrets to Success Playbook.
Okay. You got that on Amazon too?
I'm not putting it on Amazon because I don't want to give Amazon 70% of my proceeds. So you gotta go to my website and grab that.
Okay. So
so 8secretsplaybook.com.
Got it.
Yeah.
If you had to think of yourself a spiritual animal, what animal would you think would be your spiritual animal?
Man, that's a good one too. Spiritual animal.
So this is evidently I thought of these things like an animal that reflect me or reflect you. What animal do you think most likely kind of reflect you if you had to be an animal?
Probably like I think a female lion, bro, because they do the hunting.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So probably like a female lion.
It would just be a lion, probably, but I get what you're saying though, because you don't want to go out there and break it back.
Yeah. I execute. Yeah.
Well, that's an important part of the team. All right, this if you could pick anywhere to live, where would be your place you want to live forever?
It's a great question. So my roots are Nigeria, Scotland, and Ireland. I haven't been to any one of them.
Right.
So I think I would want to go to Nigeria and experience it. I'm definitely going to do that. But honestly, bro, maybe Hawaii, bro. Maybe Hawaii. My vibe.
Have you been to Hawaii?
Haven't been yet, but I feel like emotional connection already. So I feel like maybe I think Hawaii might be it. I mean, I'm closer. I used to live in Boston, so I was way further, but now I'm closer to it. So I think I got to make that happen this year.
Yeah, Hawaii. We went there for a honeymoon in Maui, bro. Like the pictures don't do justice. You have to it's a vibe. It's really a vibe. Hawaii.
I'll make that happen for sure.
Yeah. All right. So like I said before the show, the old American dream is you will be working. You have a job right now. You'd be working for the next 30 years, and you'll be looking at the clock on when you're gonna retire. What is Brandon's version of the new American dream?
Really, I just want to inspire and motivate people to go after their goals and dreams, live life how they really want to live it. And as a result of me helping people and connecting and impacting people, that will allow me to live the life how I want to live
it. Wait. So you said you want people to chase their dreams?
Yeah, I want to motivate, inspire, and impact people to chase and achieve their dreams. And as a result, that will allow me to live my dreams.
Oh, got it. Hey, let the people know if they want to reach out, find your book. How do they find Brendan?
Yeah. So if you guys want to tap into me on all social media platforms, like literally all of them, it's Brendan Boyd. That's ITSBRENDANBOYD. So TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of that. You can find me there. I do free marketing training. So if you want to tap into a free marketing training, text the word training to 213-410-4920. And if you want to grab a copy of my book, just go to the number 8secretsplaybook.com.
Got it. Hey man, appreciate you. We finally got the show done. It took
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
hey, it took about two or three trials, but we finally made it happen. Appreciate it for coming on the show, man.
Yes, sir. Definitely, bro.